we can have a talk about our toothpaste. Toothpaste is basic in nature. So that's why it's this soapy texture in it, and it also tastes bitter.
Model of a BrahMos supersonic cruise missile.
ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದು
ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ Akashravikumar. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ಇವತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಡೇ ನಡೀತಿದೆ. ಆದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 1909ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೆಂಬಲ ನೀಡಿದವರು ಜಮ್ಶೇಡ್ಜಿ ಟಾಟಾ ಅವರು.
ನನಗೆ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ಲು ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಇತ್ತು. ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ 40 ಮೇಜರ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು 6 ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ಸಾಗಿ ಅವ್ರು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಬಯೋಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಏರೋನಾಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ಹಲವಾರು ಸಾಧಕರುಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಟಿಪ್ಪಣಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ರೀತಿಯ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮಕ್ಕಳು, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು, ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ರು.
Do you have it? No, I don't hope so. Yeah, so anything else that we can, yeah? Turmeric, okay, that's a good idea. Anything more trivial, anything more daily? Like, we can taste it, right? Yeah, if it's edible, obviously, don't eat like strong ones. So like, if it's edible, definitely do taste it. And like, acidic substances taste sour, and basic substances have the soapy texture. Like for example, we can have a talk about our toothpaste. Toothpaste is basic in nature, so that's why it's this soapy texture in it, and it also tastes bitter. So now, what if we move on next little bit higher, and she said that we use turmeric as an indicator to see whether a particular substance is acidic or basic. Anything more, a scale that we can use in a more specific way, how much exactly acidic it is or basic it is. Anything? Yeah. Any idea what's the full form of pH? Yeah? Yeah, it comes from a German word, potens of hydrogen, power of hydrogen. So, we use a pH scale to know specifically from 0 to 14 exactly how much acidic or basic a particular substance is.
So this is just how the neuronal transmission is happening. This is the hand or any part of your body basically. So this is called a neuron. Neuron is a unit. And they have dendrites, they have cell body, they have axons. Their axon endings have some vesicles that stores neurotransmitters. Neurotransmitters you have heard, serotonin, dopamine, all those words you have heard, right? So those are the neurotransmitters present here, and they help in conduction of signal from one neuron to the next neuron or the adjacent neuron, right? So how it happens is, this is a part of your body, so I just give it a stimulus. So how the stimulus is traveling through your axon. This is how you can just follow the lights. Like it passes through cell body, then goes to it's one direction. There is also neurons coming from the other direction, but it doesn't happen two ways here. It's unidirectional. So it happens from cell body, axon, dendrites, and at the synapse, it has to cross this threshold. It's like putting force and opening the door and getting into the next room, right? That's how impulse goes from one neuron to the other neuron. So that it crosses the threshold and the impulse goes to the next neuron. The same thing happens to the other neurons connected next to each other, and it sends message to your brain or from your brain to your parts of the body. So that sensing happens to the sensory neurons, where your receptors are present in the fingers, the tips, or any part, which shoots up, it fires impulse to sensory neurons takes it to the brain says, oh, it's fire or it's electric shock will happen, so immediately retract your hand. That is done through the motor neurons is connected to your muscles and other parts of the body which is movable, right? You can do it. So that message is sent back to the muscles in your body, and that's how you retract your hand. So this process, almost the speed of 1 meter to 100 meter per second, that rate it travels the messages. Yeah, so this is just a model. You can further go on to see the rat brain slices we have displayed on the TV. They'll explain like different parts and how it is connected and stuff.
ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ, ಬಯೋಲಜಿಲಿ ನ್ಯೂರಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ವಿ, ಸೆಲ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಅದ್ರ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಡೆಂಡ್ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಇವರು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬ್ರೈನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯಪ್ಪ, ಓಡಾಡಿ ಸುಸ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಿಂಡಿ ತಿಂದಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸಮೋಸ ತಿನ್ನೋಣ ಅಂತ ಬಂದೆ.
Model of a BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. So this missile will be flying at Mach 3. So it works on a Ramjet engine. So inside the Ramjet engine, we'll take air which will be coming at very high speed. We'll compress the air, then we'll add fuel, get the combustion, and we'll expand the high pressure gas through a nozzle. So the inside the Ramjet engine, the air will be coming at very high speed. The if the vehicle itself is flying at very high speed like Mach 5 or above Mach 5, then it is not advantageous to slow down the air to subsonic speed. At the time, the combustion itself should happen at a supersonic speed. So we have a scramjet engine like this, where the combustion itself will happen at supersonic speed. So this is the combustion. This is the part in which the combustion is actually happening. It will be having an intake there, where the air is getting compressed. Then the compressed air will be given into the burner or the combustor, where we will add the fuel. The mixing happen inside this duct, and combustion happens inside this duct, and the high pressure gas will be expanded through a nozzle here. So that is the inside the ramjet, the combustion itself is happening at subsonic speed. Here the combustion is happening at supersonic speed. That is why it is called supersonic combustion ramjet. In short, it is called scramjet engine. So in order for this engine to start, since it is a ramjet engine, this vehicle should already be flying at supersonic speed. Like this missile is a two-stage missile. So in order to start this engine, this vehicle should already be flying at Mach 2. So in order to take it to Mach 2, we use a first stage rocket booster to take it to Mach 2. And after reaching Mach 2, the booster separates and this ramjet engine fires and then take it to Mach 3. Okay. So that is the working of these two engines.
Why is it difficult for, why others like America are not developing? Why is it so?
No, ramjet engine everybody is having. This scramjet is the
Besides they don't have.
supersonic missile. Supersonic missiles they also have, like working on ramjets. They also have supersonic missile. The challenging technology is the scramjet one, where the flight itself will be flying at hypersonic speed like Mach 5 or 7. So after the intake, you take an example of an aircraft. The aircraft is also having an engine which is working on a same principle. Like it will take air from the atmosphere, compress the air inside the engine, add the fuel, get the combustion, and the exhaust will expand the exhaust in a nozzle. So at there we are having this turbo machinery or rotating compressor to compress the air, okay, to get it to the higher temperature. But here in case of ramjet and scramjets, we use the principle of shock waves to compress the air. It is not having any kind of rotating components. Okay, the shape of the particular duct will itself do the compression. So you can see a model of this intake also there. So when in supersonic flows, we will be having the shock waves. You can see a demonstration of shock wave there as well. So when the vehicle is flying at very high speed, at the tip of this intake, it will generate a shock wave like this. Okay. So when air passes through a shock wave, it gets slowed down, it gets compressed, its pressure also increases. So that is the principle of compression acting here. So this is a kind of intake where the vehicle itself will be moving. In order to generate the shock wave, it should be flying supersonic. So whenever it is flying supersonic, you will be having shock waves here. So once the air passes through the shock wave, it gets compressed. So the compressed air is coming into the engine. In the other normal aircraft, we will be using rotating compressor to compress the air. No, you can see inside there is a model of an intake there, and you can see that model. So inside there won't be any rotating components, or the shape of the duct through which the air passes do the compression and expansion. Okay. In the case of scramjet also, we will be having that is called ramp. Like you can see a model here. So whenever a supersonic flow comes and passes over a ramp, it will generate a shock wave. So the scramjet intake will be having 2 or 3 ramps according to how much compression you need. Then once the compression is happened in the intake, then it will be given to the engine, where we mix the fuel, the air will be moving at very high speed, like Mach 2.5 or above.
One eternity later.
ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು IAS ಇದು ಮೇನ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ನ ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಇವ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಿದ್ದು ವರ್ಕ್ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಯಿತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ 18 ಕಮ್ಯೂನಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ವಿ. ನಾನು ಅವ್ನು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ ಮುಂದೆ ಶೈ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲಿಗೆ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಹೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನಾನಿವತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ MG ರೋಡ್ಗೆ. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ MG ರೋಡ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 3-4 ಮಂತ್ಸೇ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. ನಾನಂತೂ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ನನಗೆ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಇಬ್ಬರು ಕಂಪ್ಯಾನಿಯನ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು. ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗೋ ಮಗನೇ ನಾನಲ್ಲ. ಯಪ್ಪ, MG ರೋಡ್ ತುಂಬ ಹಾಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಗುರು. ಬಿಸಿಲಿತ್ತು ಗುರು. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು 2 ಗಂಟೆ 2:30 ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ₹1 ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂದರೆ ₹10 ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಅವರ್ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಮೇಝಿಂಗ್, ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್. ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಖತ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಪಿಜ್ಜಾ ಮತ್ತು ಪಾಸ್ತಾ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಪಿಜ್ಜಾ ಓಕೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಪಾಸ್ತಾ ಅಂತೂ ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಬಟ್ ವಿ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್. ನಾನಿವಾಗ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದೆ. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ನನ್ನ ಚಾನಲ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ನನ್ನ ವ್ಲಾಗ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರೋ, ಹಾಯ್ ಹಲೋ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ ಆಕಾಶ್ ರವಿಕುಮಾರ್. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಚಾನಲ್ನ ಹೋಗಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಿನ ವ್ಲಾಗ್ಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟೇ ಟ್ಯೂನ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಇನ್ನು ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನಿಮ್ನ ಮನೋರಂಜಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. Until and unless we meet next time, take care guys, love you lot.